Hello and welcome to the Gulf War, the battle after the war. So occasionally I like to research the meds that I take because scientists do studies ongoing on them, and they post new information from time to time, and it's important to know what these meds are responsible for or what they can do to you, since they are prescribed for hundreds of different symptoms. I just finished researching gabapentin as an example and found that it has the potential to cause depression, aggressive behavior, and suicidal ideation, which is not a good thing. I dropped a link about this on my Gulf War page, so if you want to read the article, you can. I also found one at NCBI, but I didn't drop that link on the page. It's very easily searched. By now, I think everybody knows how to find NCBI's website and PubMed. You can research it there. Now, to address a question that was posed to me earlier this week. How do you deal with friends and family not believing you're ill or have Gulf War illness or GWI? The best advice that I can give is try not to let it stress you out. I know it can be extremely frustrating. I'm learning myself to say things once, and if they're not met with question or if there's no interest in what I'm saying, I'll leave it at that. I know how I feel and I know what's happening to me. There's enough research now on the web and legitimate pages such as mine for them to do their own research, and if they are truly interested in knowing why you feel the way you do, they can seek these pages out. You can push them my direction. I'm happy to answer any questions. This response may sound cold and standoffish, but if they're not willing to listen or not in the mindset of accepting that you're sick, then you're not going to convince them that you have something or that you have this illness. You're just going to end up making yourself stressed out and upset, and that in itself just makes your symptoms worse. Preaching to the choir, I know everybody knows this, but sometimes we allow people to get under our skin, and that just causes problems for us. An example of that is when I allow that to happen to me, my tremors get worse, sometimes to the point where I can't even use my hands, and that's frustrating. And that'll lead to blood pressure going up, and I get something called an Icepick Headache, which is, I explained this in a previous cast, but Icepick Headache is basically right in here, and it is exactly as it describes. It feels like somebody's stabbing you in the head with an ice pick, and it continues if you don't close your eyes or if you don't draw your stress down, just kind of calm down and relax and basically just be quiet. Otherwise, it just gets to a point where it's going to make you do that because it will hurt so bad. It'll bring tears to your eyes. So that's important. There's other things that can happen as a result of stress. So it's best just to leave the topic alone. So you know what you have, and you know how to deal with it for the most part. And I've discussed this in previous casts too, where I was talking about build your support system. It's very important to have that. It's even better if you can find someone who understands how to handle the VA and is willing to advocate for you. But even that's a challenge, because this is usually someone, say for instance myself, that's going through the same or similar symptoms. So there's a lot going on, so it's hard to get that support from somebody on a constant, because you may catch me on a day where I'm not feeling good and I may not be able to help, and vice versa. I can use my previous girlfriend as an example. She had more good days than bad, so she was able to help me out a lot more than I was able to help her out. during that time period. And that role reversed, and then she passed away, so I lost that connection. But it's difficult. So building that support system is important. I have a friend who can tell when I'm not feeling well and when I'm trying to hide my symptoms. And he'll call me out on it, he'll say something. And that's kind of what I mean by a support system. It's not just somebody to talk to, but somebody who will say something to you. Because ultimately, that's the difference between opening up a dialogue and just ignoring what's going on. And not everybody is a strong person. So they don't have somebody like that in their lives, somebody to point out, hey, I see you're not feeling well, or hey, what's going on? You know, it's a difference between somebody who might become part of the 22 and somebody who might continue to live. So that's really important. It opens up the dialogue, it allows you to speak. You say what you need to say, and if it requires feedback, they'll give you feedback, because that's the type of person that they are. The other thing, at least for me, is that, you know, it's allowed me to get out of the shell that I've always been in since I got out. Many years, I wouldn't do anything or go anywhere because of the uncontrollable tremors, or the face twitches that we deal with, or the muscle spasms, or the various symptoms that are visible that people can see. I allowed it to control my life, and I don't do that anymore for the most part. I mean, I have my days where, you know, maybe the pain will stop me from doing things, but the face twitches and the tremors and stuff, you know, big deal. People look at you and they say, "Oh, your hands are shaking," or "I see the muscle on your cheek right here, it's moving." You know, you learn to laugh at those things. If you can't make fun of your own illness, what can you do? You know, it's just, you gotta learn to live life. Deal with whatever you have in symptoms. We can still find a way to enjoy life, enjoy friendship, enjoy a relationship, etc. Anyway, that's my rant on that. So don't try to make anyone believe what they don't understand. It's not worth your health. We currently are aging approximately 15 years faster than our civilian friends anyway. So, you know, ideally we will pass faster. It's just a given, and it's happening. So enjoy the life you have. They'll figure it out, or they won't. And at the end of the day, you're still going to hug your family and friends and say, "See you tomorrow. I don't feel good today." So with that, have a great rest of your week. And next week is Christmas. And I have a special cast/YouTube channel, or YouTube video for you. And the bloopers are included. So I'm going to be a little embarrassed. It's kind of funny. You'll get a good laugh at my expense. But hopefully it will be better than what I've been reporting on for the past 8 months or so. That's been kind of depressing and frustrating and angering. It's been the end of the year, the last video, laughing and having a good time together. I'd say the video is probably rated PG, so if you have a younger audience watching, you might want to maybe mute the first 10 seconds and then go right into the rest of it. So anyway, I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching or listening today, and don't forget to hug a vet.